Welcome to the Sunday Night Talk. I am Patrick Ramirez. This is my show. It's the week of the Super Bowl. We've got midweek storylines to discuss. We got prop bets. And we got a little trip down memory lane when it comes to favorite Super Bowls of the last 25 years. If you're new to my channel, if you're returning to my channel, all my stuff is up. Stand-up comedy, YouTube shorts, my one-on-one interview series is up as well. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe if you haven't already. Every little bit counts. I do it for you, the viewer, the listener. I'll be putting up all my stuff there. That's where I announce my stand-up dates as well. It's all happening. A lot to discuss. The season comes to its apex next week. Are you excited? Are you scared? Are you a little depressed that football's ending? And looking forward to next season, see how your team shapes up. A lot of emotions we must discuss. The season finale of the Sunday Night Talk will be next week. So we'll record our show right after the Super Bowl and put it up. So, on to the Sunday Night Talk. It's the week of the Super Bowl. Here we go. This is the Sunday Night Talk.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everybody. It is time for the Sunday Night Talk. It is the week before the Super Bowl edition. That's right. Next week at this time, we will have an NFL champion. Omar Carmona is with me. We are here on the YouTube channel. New subscribers, returning listeners, welcome everybody. We're gonna do We're gonna do a little midweek headlines. We're gonna do a little trip down memory lane. We're gonna do some betting talk, and then finally we're gonna do some just Super Bowl questions that I wrote down as well. So, Omar, how are you feeling in this week leading up to the Super Bowl?
I'm feeling very nostalgic, I think, Pat. I'm feeling nostalgic because I don't know, there's something about this New England Patriots team, and I am a lifelong 49er fan. I'm seeing history repeat itself with what Bob Kraft and Mike Vrabel are doing. I think it's going to be an interesting week leading up to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to have any arrests. No one's going to go down to Tijuana's a little far for this Super Bowl. That's a long drive, right? To go from
Tijuana?
Yeah, it's
that would be pretty far, Northern California.
Somebody would probably talk you out of crossing the border. No. But I do see this is going to be a repeat. History repeating itself. I'm going to go with the Patriots this week. I know we're going to talk about our predictions later, but I am seeing history repeat itself in New England.
Yeah, I'm excited to put a bow on the season. It's been a really fun season. It's two teams I don't think either of us would have particularly picked would be in the Super Bowl as well. So whenever you have a surprise matchup, there's some added built-in fun to that. There's a lot of things I like about both teams too. You know, sometimes there's a team that you just love to root against. You just don't like them. They're more of a heel. It's a little more pro wrestling. You're like, oh, I can't wait to see them go down. Right. I like both these teams. We've had a fun week as far as breaking down each of their conference championship wins, talking about what could have been. I think both the right team won in both circumstances. So I'm really excited, and I'm a little excited to see what non-football stories we get to talk about during the week as well, talking national anthem, halftime show, field conditions, any quotes in the media that'll be fun to discuss and throw back and forth. We've already had a couple little things. So ultimately, yeah, I'm ready to go. And we got this week in between. And I got nostalgic too. Like you said, I go back and I watch old Super Bowls. I watch old conference championship games.
I got on, NFL Network today. They're playing every single the 30-minute Super Bowl, and being that I was on being that I've been on a history football, a history of football kick. John Facenda, the voice of God, narrating those Super Bowls. It's just such a cool. I love that they fit that whole game in 30 minutes. A 30-minute segment. With commercials. So it's a good 22-minute shoot. So it's fun to watch. It's a great week. It's a great week. I think Media Day is going to be tomorrow or Monday. I'm sorry, Tuesday.
Yeah, it's usually Tuesday, right?
Tuesday,
although
right?
It can change. I was watching old Super Bowls and I forgot that it used to alternate, or I don't know how they scheduled it. There used to be a week off between conference championship and Super Bowls, but some years there wasn't. Some years it was the next week was the Super Bowl. And that seems really unusual by today's standards that there would be just the very next week was Super Bowl. There you go. Get ready, play. I don't know when we sort of decided that, like, all right, we got to have this, just let's just make it a rule that we have a week off in between there. So that's kind of funny as well. But all right, talking kind of week of headlines and talking points, you wanted to talk about this. We got some Hall of Fame talk this week, and Bill Belichick is not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's an unusual one. So let's discuss that to start off.
Politics, Patrick. It's dirty politics, and I think it sends. If you're the Hall of Fame, it sends the wrong message because it sends a message that now the Hall of Fame can get political, and you hate to believe it, but it's true. It's absolutely true. To
What is
say
the
that
what do you mean by this? How are they punishing Bill Belichick for being in a political sense?
I have conspiracy theories, Patrick. Okay,
Okay.
and and I just he's got some enemies. The way the relationship that he's had with Robert Kraft after their split. The fact that excuse me, the fact that Robert Kraft could be going to the Hall of Fame this week, that's crazy to me. But I think it is punishment for, apparently the theory is that Polian, who is a voter, it would, last minute was steering a lot of people away from voting for Belichick, blaming, Spygate, that he needs a year to, you know, um, what's it called? Maybe do penance, I guess. But I just think he's got, we've heard the rumors that every team is allowed on the North Carolina campus except New England. I mean, it sounds like it's like a petty relationship between the Crafts and Bill Belichick. And maybe these voters are showing their loyalty to the Kraft family. That's all I'm saying.
It's anytime you start to incorporate voting into any selection process, I think it's ripe for inaccuracies, corruption, and just human error. I mean, we go through this every 4 years in the Olympics with figure skating judges. There's a reason why we say the Russian judge. Every time we go to a decision in boxing, it's due to, we go to the scorecards. There's just this built-in avenue for not getting it correct.
Right.
And I think if you look at just Bill Belichick, the record, and you were to say, yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame first ballot, and the fact that he's not, you would say like something is not right here. Now,
Yeah.
there is a process to the Hall of Fame. Do you know how many people are on the selection committee?
Apparently it's 50 and you need 40 votes to get in. So if you lose 11, if 11 no, you're out.
Yes, and it's a process of that narrows down from a list of 15 modern era finalists plus
Right.
separate nominees for seniors, coaches, and contributors. Do you know the what we're at the final nominees as of January 30th?
Well, I have an idea, but let me just real quick. There was one voter who claims to have voted against Belichick, and he claims the reason he voted against Belichick wasn't because he's anti-Belichick. He's claiming it's because he believed that there were players more deserving who had been waiting a longer time to get in, and that his theory is, or his idea is, enough's enough. We have to get these guys in now. They've waited long. And I mean, you made them the voter, and if that's his reasoning and he's being honest, well, I really can't knock that either. You
Right.
know?
That's the second part of this story is the selection process is you have so many years to try and get in, and some players have been waiting, and Bill Belichick has, I guess you would say, a grace period that he can wait. So that becomes a secondary part of it, which could enter into a voter's mindset.
Right.
Um, so here's the list as of now, as of January 30th. I looked them up. Ken Anderson, quarterback, Cincinnati. Charlie Conley, Roman Gabriel, Roger Craig, Chuck Foreman, Cecil Isbell, Paul Younger, Isaac Curtis, Lovey Dillwig, Henry Ellard, Harold Jackson, Stanley Morgan, Art Powell, and Otis Taylor are our finalists as of now. So, in order to put Bill Belichick in, someone has to come out. And I think that kind of speaks to your point because I think someone mentioned earlier that this is Roger Craig's last go around
Yeah,
in the
I mean, and
selection.
that was
So, I think Ken Anderson too. So,
and I heard LC Greenwood. Was
I
he on
didn't
that
see
list?
I didn't see that on my list on the selections.
He's been on every media outlet they're reporting LC Greenwood has been on that list.
I didn't see that on my finalist as of January 30th. So that becomes a bit of the process of how it actually works. But that being said, whatever the process is, I think they got it wrong because he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer looking at the record and the dynasty and like even go into the career pre-Patriots, the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns. This guy is a lifetime football mind. And the weirdest thing is it's painting Bill Belichick as a positive character now.
Right.
Everybody had the notion that Bill Belichick was this conniving coach, and and in the last recent years, like it was Belichick versus Brady, and he's got the young girlfriend, and now all of a sudden we're sympathetic for Belichick. So what a flip!
And let me tell you why there's a meanness to this, Pat, because like as cold as I think the media has, let's be very real. I mean, he hasn't been the best person to the media. Okay,
Right,
like
it was never good with the media. That is true.
never,
Although
never.
yeah,
I mean, so he made enemies, but it seems like he wore those as a badge of honor, and you can always say at least he was always himself. You know what I mean? At least he wasn't he wasn't being a jerk to this particular media person or that, and showing favoritism towards this particular media person. He was just a jerk all around.
yeah. He had a little bit of Barry Bonds syndrome going with the media. Just like the wall was up, and he was not going to give you an inch, and he was annoyed at you.
And where I'm going with that story is that, but one thing that he was very warm to, that he was very in biographies in interviews, he has spoken at great lengths about the Hall of Fame in Canton and how that was such a special place for he and his father. Apparently, they visited the Hall of Fame together. That was like a father and son, and it was his dad's favorite place. And he was a very, obviously his dad molded him. And I think where it hurts is like somebody who was after him knew this cut would be the deepest. This is because there's so many ways to get after him. You know what I mean? Like, how he's looking in North Carolina with the young girl. You know what I mean? Like there's
Right.
he's you can jab him when he's checking his cell phone at adult cheerleading contests.
Well,
But
it's been a year of like just
yeah,
constant Bill Belichick pot shots. He didn't do
right. And so
do a
there's
great
ways,
job. He's got
but
and all of a sudden, look at now we're like we like Bill Belichick now. Look how
right,
they snubbed
and
him.
I just think it's because this again this cut was the deepest, and whoever was going after him knew that this is going to be the one that hurts him the most.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. And in no reasonable sense can any of us say he won't get in next year.
Well, here's the thing, Pat. Do you think that he will accept an invitation next year when they
Right.
call him?
Maybe he just goes the ultimate FU and says, like, hey,
Fuck
how
you.
great of a Hall of Fame could it be if I'm not in it? And that would be a totally fair statement. I think the media, the Deflategate, the Spygate, the stuff like that probably entered into the heads of a couple of voters. I'm not going to go as far as saying all the voters had this, like, let's make them wait. But also the built-in process of these other nominees as well. Now I think the system is flawed. We got to think of
Yeah.
a new something because this guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think can you make an argument against it? Nobody has an argument against
There's
it.
no, there is
There's no.
there is zero argument against it. And like somebody was saying, the only argument against it would be if there was one spot open and the first and the two left to vote on was Tom Brady and Bill Belichick on the first ballot. That's the only one you may have to scratch your head and, all right, maybe Tom's got to go in for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would
But
be
that's really
interesting.
the only name that comes up. I mean,
Right.
well,
Yeah,
well,
this
well,
also was another chapter in the Belichick versus Brady post Patriots saga. who got
Because
in first.
Tom Brady will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I mean,
Yeah.
and how is it going to be when it's Bob Kraft, Tom Brady in the Hall of Fame, and Bill Belichick's not?
Hmm.
And I think that's what we're possibly looking at.
I think at first when I think the media and I was like they're keeping him out first years, I'm always a little skeptical when I hear those. But then I did some research, and would you care to know who is in, most importantly, who is not in the New England Patriots Hall of Fame currently? Do you know
Bill
Belichick
Belichick
is not in it?
is not in the Patriots Hall of Fame. No,
No, he is not. Do you want to know
no.
some names that are in it of that era?
Okay, let me guess. Is Wes Welker in the Hall of Fame?
No, he is not.
Julian Edelman,
I wrote down the significant ones, but I think he was one of them. Yeah, I think he's in.
Gronkowski.
I think he is in. Yeah, I wrote down some that might
Ty,
surprise you that are
I
in.
think Ty Law would have to
Ty
be
Law
in.
is in.
I would think Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah, he is in.
Richard, Robert, was Robert or Richard? Robert Seymour?
Richard Seymour, I believe,
Richard
is
Seymour.
in. Yeah, these are common ones that are going to be in. I'm going to throw some surprises at you that are
Okay.
in. Kevin Falk is in
Oh,
the
wow.
Patriots Hall of Fame.
Belichick loved Kevin Falk.
Hey, Kevin Falk, what's it like being in the Hall of Fame? Can you tell me? Ty Law, you said.
It's like, I don't even know if Kevin Falk's in the LSU Hall of Fame. You know?
Right. Is he in his high school's Hall of Fame? We don't even know. Ty Law.
That
Okay,
makes sense.
here's
That makes sense.
here's some weird ones. Drew Bledsoe.
Oh, no, you got to have him in the Hall of Fame.
Before Belichick, though? All right, let's keep going. Ben
Patrick,
Coates is in the
hold
Hall of
on.
Fame.
Hold on. That relationship between Kraft and Belichick is a bad relationship.
Well,
Okay.
that goes to my point of look who's in the Patriots Hall of Fame
Yeah.
before Belichick. All right, I'm going to keep going. Ben Coates.
I'm okay with not over Belichick, but
Not over. Yeah, the question is over Belichick. All right, Bill Parcells is in the Patriots Hall of Fame, and
but
Belichick is not
that's
in.
interesting because that wasn't the most ceremonious exit
Right,
between Crafts and Parcells either.
right. So Parcells is in the Hall of Fame, and then here's the weirdest one.
Like, didn't he try to get Belichick to go with him to the Jets? Like, I mean, that's like the ultimate form of tampering, right?
Very odd. And then here's this one. Dante Scarnecchia. He was an assistant coach on the Patriots till 2019. He's in the Patriots Hall of Fame. What is going on in this Patriots Hall of Fame, Robert Kraft? This
Wow.
guy has got to get in. Come on.
Assistant under Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame.
Right. All these guys are in the Patriots Hall of Fame, and Bill Belichick is
Keep talking. I'm gonna get another Gatorade. But keep
not.
going. I'm listening.
So, this has been the interesting story. It's another chapter, like I said, in Brady versus Belichick. It speaks to the Belichick post Patriots career. And it makes me ponder a little bit if we're going to look at Belichick as a sympathetic figure in the next couple years. He had such a letdown with the UNC head coaching season this year. It didn't go well, not a winning season. And the ultimate insult is us in the media, us in football fans. I think we lost interest in his team about halfway through. Like, we didn't even really care about the games anymore.
No.
And now look, he's right back, and I think he's gaining public sympathy by this. Be like, look at this, look how they did him wrong. And now I'm even wondering this, like, you think we see him in the NFL ever again?
Well, and then I was just about to ask, but notice one thing. We are not hearing any rumors
No
of
rumors, no.
an owner of an owner wanting Bill Belichick to even come in for an interview. And I don't think it's because of a lack of people believe that he lost any knowledge it's not that, Pat. These owners are a tight group of guys. Like they make each other billions of dollars. Okay. So their partnerships they got to be strong. They need votes on these different committees when it's coming to league governance. So if if you've made enemies with Bob Kraft, okay, I'm just saying you got a problem.
Yeah,
You got
I
a
guess
problem.
so. I sometimes I agree with that. Sometimes I don't because these guys.
I think it's naive not to think that it doesn't go that way.
Well, I but don't, you compete against Bob Kraft though. It's kind of it's like yeah, we all agree on some stuff, but we do have to beat each other. Like I was thinking the Cleveland Browns of like, how are you not calling Belichick and be like, just what do you want? Be our coach. I didn't get that at all. But you're right. We didn't hear a single rumor, a single anything about him in it with any NFL interviews. However, maybe he doesn't want to go back to the NFL and he's like, hey, I'm not taking any calls. Fine, but how cool would that have been if he went back to Cleveland, complete the circle, unfinished business?
Oh,
You know, even Raiders too. I was like, yeah, what about Raiders? But I was like, there's no way Brady would. There's no way that bridge can be mended. I think their relationship is just ceremonial at this point.
no. I'm
But
hearing
Cleveland,
Raiders.
I thought Cleveland was should have tried.
I'm hearing Raiders already have a coach.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
Clinton Kubiak.
Clint Kubiak, offensive genius to the Seattle Seahawks. At this point, like whenever your team is getting a new coach, there's only three emotions you can really have. You can have excitement, you can have disappointment, or you can have fear. There's nothing else. There's no like, maybe. No, you're just scared. And we've just been burned for so many years with coaches, high profile names, lower profile names. Nothing has worked. And this is just another one. So I think right now for me, it's fear. I don't know what I'm stepping into. We have no idea. We got the number one draft pick. That's going to be great. And then after that, it's going to be a complete overhaul. We don't know what's going on. But
Right.
I mean, very surprising how bad Pete Carroll's year went. That was so bad. So, other than that, some coach hirings. We're still waiting for Arizona to hire a coach. I mean, I guess they're waiting for the Super Bowl to end so they can interview some of those coaches. But you almost hit on all your coaching picks, and we'll see who lands where in the
Which
NFL
one
head
did I
coaching.
miss? It was I said Bowles was going to be fired, right?
Yeah, the Tampa Bay one was the one you missed. They kept him. You said he was on the way out, but they kept him.
They did keep him, but
Yeah, and
and it
then we
did
got.
come down to a decision. There was a rumor about like he did get a meeting,
Hmm.
but no, I did
Yeah.
get that one. I did get that one wrong. But I even got the one McDermott. I just thought that short a Super Bowl appearance, he was
Hmm.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You should have you kind of danced around McDermott during the year, but I don't think he was on your list. But they let him go. And the more you think about it, you're like, yeah, I guess that is the standard. And yet I was still surprised for about 48 hours that they let him go. And now Buffalo is changing coaches. Who knows? I still think they're Super Bowl potential of a team.
I am, I'm looking back and Joe Burrow had that thing like Dan Marino did a Super Bowl appearance early in the
Yeah.
career, and and he never went back, which is I think it's such a disappointment
Hmm.
for Dan Marino, who was also a surefire Hall of Famer. Stats, those stats speak for themselves. But it kind of seems like I want to draw comparisons between Josh Allen and John Elway in his earlier years. But even John Elway made the big game. You know what I mean? He
Yeah. He
got
made it a couple times early, lost them both.
he got his head kicked in three times. He went against the Giants, Phil Simms,
Hmm.
that Lawrence Taylor defense just dominated him. Doug Williams blows him out of the water,
Right. Right. I forgot about that one. Yep.
and then Joe Montana blows him out of the
Hmm.
water.
Yeah. That
So
was one of the Super Bowls I rewatched. Yeah. That's right.
and so and then the AFC Championship games to get to those, it was so heroic. I mean, he was, the drive,
Hmm.
all those special plays he made to get him in the, back then the AFC was very deep. Your Raiders, the Oilers. But I mean, the long story short, just, Josh Allen's just, is he going to win the big one? I guess John Elway for a long time had that monkey on his back. Is he ever going to win the big one?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, a
and
little bit of Steve Young in there too.
so now it's a new coach. And then, you got to wonder if it doesn't work out with this coach, what future would Josh Allen have in Denver? I mean,
Yeah.
in Buffalo, is it time for a change in scenery?
It just seems like such a hard mindset for these players too that make a playoff run and everything's riding on this season and then it ends and it just feels like okay, now we're at the bottom of the mountain again and we got to start climbing all over again. We'll start in April with the draft. We'll start with off season. It just seems like oh man, just from a mental standpoint, how hard it is for these players to make that turn mentally because the NFL is just such an ultimate, not only team sport, organization sport. There's
Yeah,
50 guys on that sideline, and Josh
right.
Allen doesn't play defense. He's relying on the defense to be good enough, and in his role in it just seems so hard. It makes me sympathetic for the head coach sometimes. We're like, I got to get 52 guys on the same page, and that's just the players. I got to get the coaches in line, and we got to put a product out on the field, and then we got to do it for 18 weeks straight, and everybody's got to buy in. It's
And then speaking of coaching changes, I'm wearing the shirt. How
oh
about
no, you're wearing a non-team shirt.
I'm wearing a non-team shirt. It was the only thing that was comfortable. That is a long sleeve. I just felt like a lot, but that's all the only reason. Don't look into it. But it looks like that. I think did we have an idea for like this outrageous coaching pairing, maybe like roommates type sitcom, John
Hmm.
Harbaugh and McDaniel. Just these like the oddest couple are going to be teamed up in San Diego.
Oh right, yeah, we got some head coaches making offensive coordinator job roles too.
Yeah. Mike
Hmm.
McDaniel and Harbaugh together. We're talking fashion. I mean, Harbaugh gets he gets his his khakis and jeans, the same pair from Costco and Sam's and
Yeah.
his hoodie and then McDaniel's over here, sporting different Jordans and the Air Force, the original, $800 pair of sneakers. It's going to be an interesting pairing.
Hmm.
What's
Yeah, we got a
going
real fire and
in
ice
LA?
or a Miami Vice, and then your defensive coordinator. Where did Salah go? Who hired him?
Tennessee, and it's going to
Tennessee.
be
That's
paired.
right.
And another pairing with Dable. Dable is going to be basically running the
Hmm.
offense.
What a
And
shuffle, just year to year with these coaches. Like just moving around, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach now. It's a lot of moving
and,
parts in the
and
NFL.
Raheem Morris is now the former Atlanta coach. Now with Stefanski in Atlanta. Raheem Morris is now the 49ers defensive coordinator.
Hmm. Moving, so much moving around. Wow, I was listening to a few interviews with Fred Warner this week, uh, 49ers defender who was injured. Really surprisingly eloquent speaker,
Oh
Fred
man,
Warner.
he's amazing. He's amazing.
If you didn't know who was on the other end, you would think it's like a 10-year
He,
veteran announcer.
he's a bright dude. I think maybe that goes. That's why he's so successful. I think as a
Mm,
between the lines tackle. I mean, he's uh just a bright. His IQ is I think second to none, and I think that's what makes him so successful. And I think he definitely got yeah. I really hope he stays healthy. He's gonna. I think he has a bright future, basically doing whatever
mm.
he wants in the league. He
He
seems
was
to have.
convinced if the Niners won that divisional game, he was going to play for the conference championship. He was like, I can go. It's a matter of like getting the okay. He's like, I'm going to follow the steps. If they say no, it'll be a no. But he was like, I feel like I was almost there and I could have played if we got to that conference round. Unbelievable. Great. Just a great breakdown of defense and him in the league and his injury and coming back too. Really interesting, Fred Warner. So one of those guys where you're like, I'm gonna keep an eye on this guy for next year because I like him. I'm really a fan of Fred Warner now. So we got a whole week coming up to see what off-field storylines we have. We got the Pro Bowl on Tuesday for some reason this year. And then we see what's going on. We got the media day. It's going to be a fun week of NFL talk off the field, predictions, storylines, all that stuff. So let's continue next segment. onto the show this week. We're going to go down memory lane, Omar. We did a little bit of this a few weeks ago. But now I did my most hated Super Bowls of the last 25
Ooh,
years. But now you and I are going to count down our favorite Super Bowls of the last 25 years from 2001 to 2025. So these are Super Bowls that just had struck some sort of emotional core with ourselves. So I'll kick us off with number 5, my most favorite Super Bowl of the last 25 years. This is from 2010, the New Orleans Indianapolis Super Bowl. This was Drew Brees. This was Sean Payton. This was the surprise onside kick. Really liked this Super Bowl. It was a great matchup. And then a little bit of a sneaky Peyton Manning disappointment Super Bowl because he had the ball with a chance to tie this game or to go
yeah.
ahead, and then he throws the interception. So I put that as my number 5. I liked it.
Okay.
Number 4. This is the LA Rams Cincinnati Super Bowl from 2022. Went down to the last drive. You know,
Yeah.
this Super Bowl, there's not a lot of videos of this Super Bowl online of the game.
No,
There's some highlights, but I'm looking everywhere for it, and I couldn't find anything but a few highlight reels. This was a great game.
it was a great game. Great
Yeah.
game.
Number 3, Pittsburgh, Arizona, 2009. This
Oh, great,
this
great
complete
ending.
game is online, and I watched it. It's got the long run back. Who is that Pittsburgh defender that runs it back?
James Harrison
James Harrison runs it back. It's got the Larry Fitzgerald. It's got the
tackle
Santonio. It's got a safety. There's a safety in this game.
safety, and then that's of course that toe tap Santonio
Hmm.
Holmes. You
That was
know,
my number 3.
that's a great game.
Number 2, New England versus the New York Giants, the undefeated Super Bowl that never was,
Oh, that was a
2008.
great one. I think just the suspense on that one,
Hmm.
the catch, the Rodney Harrison, just couldn't get David Tyree to get to let go of
We
that
still
ball.
know his name, David
Yeah,
Tyree, the helmet
yeah,
catch.
the helmet catch, great to of course Plexico Burris.
Hmm.
Easy touchdown. Great route he ran that last play, and
Yeah.
burned the Giants defense, and it was over.
And wasn't that Strahan's last game? Didn't he retire
Great
after
had
that?
last game, and he became the celebrity. The overnight. He was already a
Hmm.
celebrity, but it just his popularity. I think he was already signed on with Good Morning America when he was getting
Yeah.
that.
And in my number 1 Super Bowl, my number 1 favorite Super Bowl last 25 years, New England at Atlanta, the 28-3 comeback from 2017. It's just hard to not put that at number 1. We had never seen anything like that before, and it was just high level gameplay. Went into overtime, so that's my number 1 Super Bowl, and it really cemented the Tom Brady legacy. I think he had Super Bowl wins. He didn't have this thing that really you could say he's got this that no one else has, and I think that 28-3 comeback was
Some,
it.
some that you left off. I love the Patriots' first Super Bowl, although
I
I
had
think
that on my long list. Yeah, that was a
you know,
great one for a lot
but
of
I think the
reasons.
most exciting Super
Well,
Bowl though, the
give
one.
me your countdown.
Well, I don't know, if I can't put them in a countdown, but like I would say that Super Bowl. But the most exciting of the Patriots Super Bowls was the Panthers Super Bowl. That was something, a divinatory field goal,
Hmm.
and Delhomme had those guys fighting to the very end of that game.
That was a weird
Um,
game because the second half is totally different than the first half
you know,
of that Super
um,
Bowl. It's a strange one. There's no offense for 2.5 quarters of that game, and
you
then
know,
it just turns into an all out heavy hitter brawl.
um, I also it wasn't a very competitive game, although the game opened with a kickoff return for a touchdown. The Colts Bears Super Bowl. That
Hmm.
that was
I
that
didn't
was
have
only
that on my
special,
list. You like
but
that
it was
one, huh?
only a special one. It was only because it was like Peyton's first. Like he also had that,
Hmm.
the monkey getting off his back. He's had two great ones. I mean, not that the Super Bowls were great. His Super Bowl in Denver was also pretty dominant. Cam Newton just didn't have a great game. But to see him also go out that way, to watch Peyton Manning get a win like that, that was big in Denver.
Hmm.
But it wasn't a great game. I'm just saying there was some
Yeah,
there
it
was some
wasn't. Yeah.
But it was some special, some special things, happened. But the Atlanta New England, the 28-3 comeback. I mean, that to me is my number one.
Yep, that's our one. All right, we still got two more. You should have put these in an order, but that's all right. You got two more to go. Would
Uh,
you? Let me think. I mean, there's probably a couple on my list that
I'm not
you'll
putting
put
any
on.
Niner ones. I'm not putting any Niner ones because that's all been heartbreak for me.
Yeah, I
Um,
was gonna say the Baltimore San Francisco the Blackout Bowl is a real special game because something non football related happened in it that really was like, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden, an explosion of offense on the 49ers part.
I'll tell you another one of my favorites was the domination of the Bucks over, and it was just Tom Brady saying, to young Mahomes,
Hmm.
like, it's still me, dude. Like, I'm still the GOAT. Like, before everybody crowns you,
Hmm.
I am still Tom Brady. And again, it was a dominant performance by Brady. Um, Mahomes didn't have a good game, right? If I'm not mistaken,
No,
he had a again, not
no,
the
that's the real criticism of Mahomes in the Super Bowls. The ones he's
hasn't been
lost,
great.
he's had some bad Super Bowls, and something Brady never had was a bad Super Bowl. He's had some average ones. That very first one, New England St. Louis, he's very
Right,
average
right.
in that
Yeah,
game
he didn't
stats
blow it
wise.
up.
Has the game winning drive. But Mahomes has some bad Super Bowls. This last one, of course, Philly and Tampa Bay dominated him
Mhm.
in that where they yeah, oddly I didn't have any KC Super Bowls in my list of favorites. Other ones that might be thrown in there. How about New England and New York Giants round two? The Mario Manningham catch.
Oh, that was a good one. Hey, but
You had that one in there
I
too.
think I'm in the last 25 years if I say Super Bowl 35, right? So isn't that the
It
Titans Rams?
Titan Rams was 99 or
Okay, so
two, 99
we're out
2000.
on
Right.
that. We're out
Right.
on
This would
that
be
one. Okay.
2001 on.
All right, so
25
let's see
years.
I got my numbers confused. You're right.
Yeah, otherwise that one would definitely be in there.
Sure. Um,
I also had who else did I put in there? No, I had New England St. Louis, that very first one.
I
I
mean,
had
of
New
course it was a heartache for me, but if you're a football fan, got that Ravens 49ers Super Bowl, Kaepernick did, the blackout game. That obviously
hmm
that was a good game.
Yeah.
Um,
Great game.
yeah.
I just hate the way it ended in that last series of plays. The play calling, the it was just a rough way to go. If it had ended differently, that game would be way up there. Awesome
Right.
game. Awesome game though. I think Ray Lewis's send-off game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully we get a game next Sunday that will be in our top as our favorites, and I'm really looking forward to it. Just so many arguments for both teams in this game. I can't wait. Just can't wait to see how they match up. I can't wait to see what the uniforms look like. I can't wait to see what the field looks like.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
I'm always curious of what the end zone design is gonna be.
mhm. Hopefully they're not practicing anywhere that energy substation so they don't get radiation. I got a lot of hopes. I'm hopeful
Oh,
for this
stop
game
it.
leading up
Stop
to
with
it.
that radiation.
Hey, it's your team who keeps getting injured. I would look into everything and anything. Got some weird radiation going on there. And by the way, who knows if we landed on the moon? We don't know. Could be some radiation. All right, next segment. We got prop bets to
Ooh, what do you
go
got?
over. We got some interesting prop bets that I looked up that I'm going to put, I already told you I'm emptying the bank and I'm going for my own personal bet. I'm going with an anytime touchdown with some high odds, plus 1100. Elijah Arroyo, tight end for the Seattle Seahawks, has caught exactly one touchdown all season. So I'm going to put some significant dough on him scoring an anytime touchdown plus 1100. I like it. I like it. Who knows if it could happen or not. But here's some prop bets that are on DraftKings right now that you can choose to bet or not. How about betting on the coin toss?
Okay.
We got heads or tails. Heads is minus 103. The underdog, tails, plus 103. So you can bet on that. How about the coin toss winner? This one's dead even. Seattle, New England, 50-50 shot on that one. I don't know if you would consider betting on the coin toss.
I would not bet on that.
That one's a straight 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Although heads or tails, I think you could crunch some numbers and you could come up with a real good prediction of what you're going to see. You could go the last 25 years of coin toss. You could go just the laws of probability. You could talk yourself into something like that. How about the Gatorade color? Do you know the heavy favorite on the Gatorade color?
Okay, let me guess. I'm going to say orange is still the big one.
Favorite for the Gatorade color is blue plus 200.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
the biggest odds against are clear.
Oh, I hate yeah.
Clear is the if you wanna go against some odds for some big money, bet clear. All right, here's some interesting ones. Total players with a pass attempt over 2.5. So this means each quarterback, but
And one has
someone
like
else,
a non-starting quarterback.
a
So if
non-starting quarterback.
a backup comes
Could be
in
a
and
backup. That's true.
takes a snap, or maybe like a and these
A
offenses.
punter.
I don't know if Vrabel. Oh, but Vrabel is known to catch it. I mean, he caught a touchdown pass. Not that from Tom Brady, but
No,
or
this is pass attempt. So we got
a
over
pass
2.5
attempt.
plus
Oh, I
175
like that. I
under.
like that. I like that. I would take the over.
You'd go the over plus 175, 2.5. Okay. That was an interesting one. Here's the weirdest one I found on DraftKings. And it's not like you can click it and there's an explanation. Here's this one. Will there be an octopus? Yes, plus 1400.
On
What's
the field.
what's that about? Is there
It's
some
got to
sort of
be.
octopus bet I don't know
I mean,
about?
you would think about maybe because of the seafood market that's there. It's
Yeah,
oh
maybe
no,
an
Seattle. No, I don't know. Octopus, is that a Santa Clara thing?
I don't know. It's just yes, it's plus 1400. Big odds. Like why is it on there? That's a strange one. Makes me want to put like $8 on it just to see what
Okay.
happens. And then last one that I found on there, will there be a successful 2-point conversion? Yes, plus 300. No, minus 475.
Ooh, I like the yes. Go with the yes.
Go with the yes. Like if there was a bet, will anybody attempt a 2-point conversion? I'd be like, oh yeah, heavy odds on yes.
No, I like it. I like it.
A
I
successful 2-point conversion. Yeah, we might see 3 2-point conversion attempts in this game for all we
right,
know.
but a successful. Yeah, I'd say yeah. There's going to be a successful one.
And the game is still Seattle minus 4.5. The line hasn't moved since last Sunday. I would be a little inclined right now to go. I take the Patriots with that plus 4.5. I would like that bet. I see it being close. I see Patriots an easy argument you can make to me. Patriots winning the Super Bowl. So I love the plus 4.5 as of right now. So still 4.5. All right, those were some interesting prop bets. What else do we have here? Week of the Super Bowl. Oh, I jotted down a few awards that I want to give out, and this is for the whole regular season.
Okay.
Just a few that if we were giving out our usual awards based on the regular season. I got most memorable moment of the whole season. I think that Rams Seahawks Thursday night game, I think was the best game we had all year. It was Thursday night. We thought it was over. It wasn't over. We had the weirdest play in history where the 2-point conversion was a backwards pass that we didn't know it was. The receiver didn't was. So just memorable moment for the season. That Rams Seahawks Thursday night game, I think was the pinnacle of the regular season. Any moments stand out for you this regular season? You were just like, this defines the season for me in a nutshell. This is the best thing I saw all year.
The best. So you're saying the best thing. So you're saying it's got to be a good thing. Because for me,
Most
you know,
memorable. You can interpret it however you like.
as a Niner fan, I'm going to take the disappointment of losing the last regular season game. That was the biggest regular season game of the year, for the number one seed. So I'm gonna take that one as. But I mean, I'll take away. This is the Philip Rivers year.
Oh,
Coming back
interesting.
and all right, yeah. So it was a good story.
Yeah, throw in a little Joe Flacco in there too. Started started the season, and we had a good one for the 40-year-old quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking back on the season, that Niners loss to Seattle in the end of the regular season was really the start of like, there's a pretty big hole in this boat. This was like the Titanic hitting the iceberg. We're like, hey, it's still floating. Hey, it's still floating. It's been 5 hours. And then all of a sudden it's just going down. You're like, oh no.
Hey, Patrick, that Caleb Williams throw against the Rams, holy, that was.
Mm,
I mean that makes the hairs, kind of stand up on your back. That was
that should be a nominee too. You're right. I'd even throw in the throw against the Packers too.
those were some crazy, crazy.
Hmm.
I know. I just don't think, given the circumstances, that Rams throw money.
Impressive. Yeah, maybe some love to just Caleb
And
Williams
how can you
season.
not? And how can you take away what Matt Stafford did? You can't take away from how special his season was at this stage in his career.
Hmm.
I think you can take that away you know from the season.
Yeah, some good moments this season. One of the better seasons. I got a cringeworthy award for the season, and it's electing Shadur Sanders to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, Pat, you took it right from me. It's got to be like the whole Shador
Makes
Sanders
no
experience.
sense.
The whole Shador Sanders experience was just a
Yeah,
weird. Like,
there
I don't know.
wasn't a single game where he was good. Like his quarterback rating was bad every single game. He would just be good enough for one or two running highlights,
But then,
one or
but
two
then,
throws,
but
and then
then
that
you
was
hear
it.
rumors he wasn't like practicing with the first team. Getting his.
Yeah, we didn't have him till like week what 8 or 9.
Yeah, and then but now he's got the call for the Pro Bowl on Tuesday.
Yeah, like whatever is wrong with the voting for the Hall of Fame, we got the same issue with the Pro Bowl. We're keeping people out of the Hall of Fame who should be in, and we're putting people in the Pro Bowl who should be out. Shador, you should not be here. What did you do that was worthy of Pro Bowl stature? That's a cringe. NFL, you got to get this right.
And
Come on.
if you're gonna do a Pro Bowl, send the game back to Hawaii. Give them something, Honolulu, and you
I,
know,
I would love it if we went back to a game. I was
it
trying to.
was so cool to see like the NFL players, like when they were like ESPN was filming them and they had the lays on them and then the whole
You're right. They played in a college
yeah.
stadium.
Bill Romanowski with that temper and attitude that he had, like he was just like this chill guy with a lay on.
Right. And then like one player on the defense was like, this ain't no Pro Bowl for me. I'm hitting people. Like there would
Yeah.
always be a little wild card. I'm
Oh,
like, what do we actually see out here?
Sean Taylor gunning for a punter.
Yeah, lighting up the fake punt. Yeah, I would love to go back to that. I was trying to explain to my little nephew that there used to be a Pro Bowl in the sense there used to be a game. And he was like, what do you mean there was a game? I was like, they played a game. They played a football game. He's like, well, they play a football game now. I was like, no, they got in helmets and shoulder pads, and the quarters were 15 minutes, and there was first downs and touchdowns. And one time it went into overtime. It was a real game, and I don't think he believed me. He was like, whatever, old man. There was no football game as a Pro Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, I would be for bringing back the Pro Bowl. On a second thought, I heard this from Rich Eisen, and it's so simple. I can't believe we never thought about this in when it pertains to overtime in the NFL. Overtime, is in the playoffs is 15 minutes. Each team gets a chance to possess the ball, and he was arguing that it's really not a good example of the game. And we go back and forth with all the strategies to change it. And he's like, well, I got a simple strategy. We just play another quarter, 15 minutes. And we
Right.
play the quarter. There is no each team possesses the ball. If you get a field goal and the game's over. No, we play a quarter. We play the game. I was like, what's so simple? How do we let this skip by us? Just for the playoffs, regular season, it's fine. Keep it the way it is. But what if for the playoffs we just played a 15-minute quarter, just like a fifth quarter? That would be, I would vote for that.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and you just play a quarter. When the clock hits 0, we see what the score is. No, okay, should I receive? Should I kick off? No, we're just playing a quarter. You got your timeouts. All the strategies are in play. I'm like, oh, somehow we missed that. Sometimes we overthink things.
I like that, Pat.
All right. That was Rich Eisen's suggestion. Those are my only awards for the non-football week, but let's wrap up the show with a couple questions for you about Super Bowls in general. See what you think about this. We've each watched a lot of Super Bowls over the years, and I don't know, I have thoughts and preferences when it comes to a Super Bowl at this point in my life. So I want to see what you think about this. Question number 1, do you prefer a Super Bowl outdoors or in a dome, or does it matter?
Outdoors, but in nice weather.
Yeah. Yeah, my only complaint with playoffs and stuff like that, we saw it in Denver. If you're playing an outdoor game, a significant outdoor game, and weather is a factor, it's really fun. It's a novelty, but man, does it change the way NFL is played. So someone was floating the idea on one of the sports shows, the conference championship game should be neutral sites in a dome or some fair weather place. And I was like, you know what? There's an argument for that. I'll go for that. But I'm with you. Outdoors, nice. Every once in a while, a dome does it really right. And there's great games in domes. But football should be played outdoors. And if we can choose our location, East Coast, South Florida or West Coast, we can get some great venues. So I prefer outdoors. I'm not ruling out a dome, but I prefer outdoors.
They're saying that in Santa Clara they're expecting clear skies at temperatures in the high 60s. What else? What else could you possibly? I mean, this is short sleeve, NFL short sleeve, and they will be sweating. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good game. The elements is not gonna be a factor.
Yeah, it's funny. California, I mean, this is the rainy season for California, January, February. There's never been a rain California Super Bowl, thank God. And when it
No,
rains in California, it can be horrendous.
There was a rain Super Bowl. I think
The Chicago,
the Bears
yeah,
Colts, that got rain.
that was in Miami.
I was in Miami. They had a monsoon, I think, going on. It was an indoor in Jerry World, but weather was a factor for travel for the Packers Steelers years ago in Arlington. Again, played indoors but I'm just saying, like, there were some serious, it caused some problems, I think, in the buildup, leading up to the Super Bowl. Um, I think remember there was a cold Super Bowl. It was the Seahawks Broncos. Was that because that was played in MetLife
It
in New
was in New
York?
York.
Yeah, February.
I don't know why we thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, that got cold.
I don't know about that one. That one might need to rethink that one.
I
Yeah,
think that was just part
outdoor.
of, like, I think it was like, all right, let's just give the Mara family this one, and like never do this again.
I think there was like a 9/11 element to it as well. Like, let's have our game in New York and support the city. But if we can choose our venue, we gotta go. We gotta go nice weather. And the argument for the neutral site conference championship, God, I don't hate it. I don't necessarily hate it.
I mean, could you imagine a championship game in Lambeau? I mean, like the Ice Bowl. Again, Pat, I'm on my history kick, so and listening to the stories as it was told about the Lombardi and versus Landry. I mean, how special was that?
Yeah, the thing you lose with the neutral site conference championship, if your home team wins that game and you're going to the Super Bowl, it's almost like a public thank you to the crowd that showed up all year. It's like, you came to our last game at home, we won, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl, and the whole crowd can enjoy it. Because I rewatched the last time the Raiders won a playoff game, which was the AFC Championship against the Titans, 2003. And just like the last 2 minutes, they seal up the game, and the fans are hugging and cheering, and like every down, they're just cheering. Everybody, the players are high-fiving the crowd. It's just a great moment. So the neutral site, I might still vote against it, because if your home team wins the conference championship, like, what a feeling! What a feeling to be in that stadium when it happens.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Geography. Do you prefer a Super Bowl on the West Coast or the East Coast?
I love those San Diego Super Bowls. I would love
Hmm.
a Super Bowl back in.
That was a great
Although,
venue.
we're never going to see another one like you saw live in Pasadena. That's not going to
Hmm.
happen. Although I think that was such a cool place.
Yeah, they should bring
With
that
the
back for
with the
nostalgia.
trees and the hills in the background.
Right.
I mean that was just a special venue. I'm glad they added Levi. Um, you can't indoor stadiums. Glendale's been the host, has been, in Arizona. They've
Yeah,
been
you count that as West Coast?
yeah, that'll be West Coast. That'll be
You
West
call it
Coast.
West, sure.
And I'd much rather, but if LA is gonna get one, it's gonna be SoFi. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's just, and of course the San Diego old, was it Joe Robbie? That's gone.
Hmm.
Um,
I think that was Jack Murphy.
oh, Jack Murphy, Jack
Yeah,
Murphy,
he was a journalist.
Joe
Joe
Robbie
Robbie
was
is the
Miami,
Miami one.
Miami. You're right. Um,
Was. I don't think that stadium's around
and so
anymore.
then there was those Super Bowls in Joe Robbie in Miami, but then obviously, then the Orange Bowl, and then Hard Rock. Um, yeah, I'll take the West Coast.
Yeah.
I think the more famous venues have been the West Coast,
Yeah. Like,
and I like that there's still sun out in the beginning of the Super Bowl.
right. With the West
I,
Coast, you're going to get some sun.
I don't like the kickoff at night, and it's a full night game.
All right. Well, that leads into my next question. Does it make a Super Bowl any more special when the game starts in the daylight and ends at night?
Oh, I love it. I love it because it's
Mhm.
like
It's
because
almost like you get two games.
yeah, it's and I do like it. I
Yeah.
just think it's special with the sun out. I think of the Super Bowl also played. I think that was in San Diego, Patrick.
Right. West Coast Super Bowls are probably going to be all of
Yeah,
those
the one
choices.
I'm thinking of was the Packers Broncos, and how I just remember it was already they were going back and forth in the sun, and that last drive where the Broncos broke up that last gasp attempt from Brett Favre on fourth down, and that was at night, and John Elway carrying the trophy at night, and
Mhm.
that game started in the sunlight. That was cool.
Yeah, yeah. I remember as a kid looking at old Super Bowl pictures of some of those games that finished at night, started the daytime. I'm looking at the pictures, seeing a pass in the daylight, seeing the trophy being held at night. I'm just going like, what game is this?
Hey Patrick, did we talk the Raiders Bucks? That Super Bowl had rain too, right?
No, no, it did not. That
Not
was in
at the
San
end?
Diego.
Not at
No,
the end?
I don't
Okay,
remember rain in that one.
I don't remember.
I
Okay.
rewatched that Super Bowl too. It was painful, but I rewatched it. Yeah, I don't think that one had any rain. The only one I can remember that had any rain was that Colts Bears Super Bowl. I want to say one of them had some rain before the game started, but I'm unsure on that one.
Mhm.
So, yeah, fun wrinkle if you have a Super Bowl
I,
on the
I
West Coast.
remember as a kid, another one that was indoors, but it's funny to watch. The one that was in Minnesota, it was the year I think it was the second Bill Super Bowl against the Redskins.
Right, that was a
And that
Minnesota one. They didn't have too many Super Bowls.
and they had like a blizzard out and around. Of course,
Hmm.
they had the was the Humphrey the dome.
Right, with like the Howard H. Humphrey
No, the
dome.
Hubert Humphrey
Hubert,
dome.
who is Hubert Humphreys? I don't even
No,
know.
wait a minute. What was it called? It was the not the
I
Metrodome. The Metrodome.
That was the Metro. What was the Humphrey Dome? That was a thing.
No, that's it. But it was also the Metrodome.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, we had a lot of dome talk back in the day. We had the Metrodome, we had the Silver Dome,
I'm looking that up just to
we
make
had
sure.
the Astrodome. A lot of dome talk in the 80s.
The Metrodome was the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome.
Gotcha. Yeah, we used to just name everything domes. In the
The King
King
Dome,
Dome. Yeah,
Superdome.
we had the King Dome.
We
Yeah.
still well, we still have the Superdome.
Oh yeah, the Superdome. Yeah, I wish we'd just
The
go back
sil
to naming things
the
domes.
the Silver Dome.
Right. We had the Pontiac Silver Dome. We should go back to naming things domes.
I love it. The Tokyo Dome was on Tokyo.
Isn't in that movie Spinal Tap? Don't they go to the Megadome?
The Megadome.
Yeah, or they're a band playing the Megadome. Yeah, we should go back to naming things dome. That's all we did. We just named any stadium with a roof. We call it
Oh,
a dome. Yes. And then final question: for a Super Bowl to be truly memorable, does something controversial have to happen off the field? Like, do we need that little bit extra spice to make a Super Bowl really memorable? Do we need a Janet Jackson? Do we need a blackout? Do we need a streaker? Do we need something like that to make it truly memorable?
No, 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 not anymore. Because what can you do before that hasn't been done already? I mean,
Well,
and
we
then
don't
like,
know till it's done.
well, I guess so. But like at the same time, like, do we want anything else that, you know,
That's what I'm saying. Do you
when
like it?
no, I don't. I don't want to take any attention away from the actual game.
Hmm.
I think the biggest in Super Bowl history, the biggest pre Super Bowl week statement ever or act ever was Joe Namath guaranteeing, Super Bowl three victory over the
Oh,
Colts.
that counts as something. Yeah. Okay.
I mean that what else what and then following through, you know what I mean? It's like even
Hmm.
if somebody were to do that now, that's great, but Joe Namath did it first. He's the
Hmm.
one that he'll always get that credit. Um, so no, I don't like taking any attention away from the game.
I think yeah, it's there's already enough stuff that can take attention away from the game. So
Yeah,
to
yeah,
have something,
these halftime performances, they're so out there as it is,
yeah. Well, can I say I'm a little nervous about this year's halftime performance?
because of the politics.
I just don't know anything about this guy. Is he a good performer? Does he
Oh
have
yeah,
songs?
he's good.
Is
He's
it going to
good.
be a good show? Is there going to be something
I,
weird
I
during
know.
it?
I think it's going to be a good show. It's just I think there's a large group of people that aren't familiar with it, and I just and I just hope everyone has an open mind, just like give a performer all the respect like you'd give anyone else. You know,
Yeah, I think he'll get that. I'm curious to see what the criticism will be because we're a lot of people are going to be listening to these songs for the very first time,
I
and
mean,
they'll be
I
like,
think there's
"What
going to
song
be
is that?"
I think there's a turning point Super Bowl show.
What do you mean?
I think like Erica Kirk is going to have like a Super Bowl show,
Oh,
like on
Turning Point, the organization. Okay, I didn't know what you meant. She's going
yeah,
to have a Super Bowl show?
yeah, like a halftime performance, but like they're all like
Really?
country, and pro.
Oh, so you can go to a different channel
Yeah,
and
like no,
watch
yeah,
their.
because so they're speaking out against this guy performing, Bad Bunny performing, and so they're like, we're gonna have our own halftime show.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Well, it might suck. At least as a viewer, you can be like, well, what's going on over there? You could see what's going on. Well, remember a long time ago, MTV had its own halftime show that you could click over and
Yeah,
watch. And I want to say, like in Living Color, that TV show from
yeah.
back in
No,
the
that's
had their
what made
halftime
them.
show.
That's what really kicked off the the Super Bowl show being what it was.
Right. Because that happened during the Bills Redskins one. And then they actually,
And Michael Jackson gets the call like we can't ever lose viewers like that again.
right.
You
That
know,
Michael Jackson was the halftime show the year following in response to
right?
into
And
that because
so
it was something that something really bland. The Super Bowl halftime show was pretty bland up until that Michael Jackson one, and then it became just
how
a huge deal to do the
how
halftime show.
early, Patrick, do you start watching Super Bowl coverage on Super Bowl Sunday?
I watch it pretty early.
Yeah, me
I,
too, man. I hate to admit it, but I watch it pretty early.
yeah, I watch it pretty early. I just have it on all day. And then there's just like the MTV. I mean, there's an MTV one, there's a Nickelodeon one. There's all these pre-games going on, and I just will have something on and I'll just kind of like check in on it all day long. And then right as the main broadcast starts, which is probably an hour or so before, then I'll lock in at that point. So I just want to take it all in. I just want to see what's going on. I'm hoping for a great game. I'm hoping for no snags. I'm hoping everything to start on time. I'm trying to think of all the worst case scenarios now. That way nothing will happen. I don't want a bad injury in the first quarter.
No.
I definitely
Oh,
I definitely don't want a silly field goal that goes over the upright and we don't know if it's good or not. I don't want that to be a determining factor. I don't want a fumble or like somebody who just can't hang on to the ball. Like I want a great game and I want something unusual to affect it. So I try and think of all these scenarios before it happens, thinking like, well, if I thought of it, there's no way it'll happen type of thing. Because I rewatched that Bucks Raiders Super Bowl, and it's actually a close game for the first full quarter. And then the Raiders can't stop fumbling and throwing interceptions. I'm like, okay, I'm going to remember this. All right, Sam Darnold, don't get a case of the interceptions. Thurman Thomas, don't lose your helmet on the sideline and you can't play the first series of the game. All that little stuff where you're like, wow, that was a weird Super Bowl. Don't get a
Yes.
personal foul because you don't get the pass interference call in the first quarter. Like, don't ruin it before the game actually even is up and going. So that's my only nerve. Is like, I just want a normal. I want the game to exist the way it should be. That being said, something crazy is going to happen. You know it is. So those are my hopes and dreams for the Super Bowl leading up. I'm one of the few people who likes when the season ends. Like, I feel it's time for the season to end where it is, and then we just go into the off season, which is fun to talk about as well. I heard an argument that the season should be longer earlier this week, and I kind of liked it. I was like, yeah, let's go into
Well,
the spring. Who cares?
there is a rumor that at some point there is going to be on the table an 18 game season and taking away another preseason game.
Oh, they're not. Oh no, 17 games now, right?
Right.
But it's
So
an
it'll be
18-week season, right? 17 games. Yeah, I could see it. And next year, the
oh, right,
Super
right. So
Bowl
yeah, it's so basically 19 weeks, a
at a
19-week
game.
season.
Yes.
Yeah, a
It's
19-week
so
season.
bonkers that there used to be a 16-game season and there was 2 bye weeks, and we added a game and took away a bye week.
Right.
I can't believe that passed. I really can't. With all the injuries and concussions and stuff, and we made the game harder. Uh,
I hear these great ideas. Then I don't know about great ideas, but it's just interesting ones that, or you have to mandate that a player has to sit out 2 games, cannot dress for 2 games in in the season. And so what do you do?
hmm.
Does Josh Allen miss the first 2 games of the regular season and play the rest? Or
Oh, like you have to sit out two if we make the season longer?
yeah, right.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
interesting.
right, imagine the strategy. Just, no, I can't.
Right.
Or do you play? You designate Josh Allen will not play week 19, but let's say they need like the wild card. Do you have to designate it early? I don't know.
Hmm.
That'd be fun.
That would be very fun. That would change the game.
Let's say it wouldn't pass. I mean, no one will ever do this, but it's just saying that would be an interesting
Yeah. Well, next year, do you know what day the Super Bowl lands on next year? This is interesting.
Valentine's.
It lands on February 14th. NFL, you are going to ruin some marriages and relationships next year. So, married and in relationships men right now, start planning now. Like, baby, let's Saturday night. We're going out Saturday night because Sunday is this day, or we're going to go out the Sunday before. You got to get on it now because next year, Super Bowl Sunday on February 14th is going to be a problem for some people.
Yep.
Big time. All right. Well,
Uh,
that was the Super Bowl preview show, everybody. Any other thoughts going into this week? Omar, are you hoping for anything during this week?
are we going to give our predictions?
Yes, let's do it now.
All right. What do you got? You
All right,
first.
my prediction, I'm basing this off of stats, experience, and coaching,
Okay.
and what I have observed with my own eyes. I think
Go.
Seattle has too much offensive firepower.
Oh, okay.
I don't think New England has enough firepower.
Okay.
That being said, I think New England finds a way to steal a possession to manage the clock,
I love it, Pat. I love it.
but I'm going to go Seattle 27, New England 24.
Oh.
So,
Ooh.
so I can still bet New England plus 4.5.
All right. All right.
27-24. That's my pick. I'm hoping it comes down to a last drive type of thing, whether it's a defensive stand or an offensive score. I'll go 27-24 Seattle. And I'll go with Darnold as my MVP.
Give me okay, and Darnell MP. Give me 24-19. I'll go with New England Patriots 24-19. Again, I see something special. I think this defense of the Patriots, they're gonna step up. A lot of
Mm,
unknown guys are gonna introduce themselves to the rest of the country. I think they're gonna make some big stops. I don't think that Darnold he's still gonna have them in the game, but at the end of the day, I think New England will make the stops at the end when it matters the most. Give me the Patriots for a Super Bowl MVP.
mm.
I'm gonna go non-quarterback.
Oh, that's rare.
I'm gonna go non-quarterback and give me. I'm gonna go Henderson.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So you're thinking a breakout offensive,
yeah.
big running game run
Two,
on the ground here, huh?
two. He'll have two rushing touchdowns,
Hmm. Maybe you should
and
bet that. Two
yeah,
touchdowns on Henderson. There's probably some good odds on that. There was some really big odds on Stephon Diggs for an anytime touchdown. And last week I was like, "Oh, that's my bet. I'm gonna wait till next week and I'm gonna bet it." And I looked at it today. It's gone all the way down to minus 300. Apparently, everybody liked that bet, and DraftKings took it off the table.
okay. So
So
there you
now
go.
I'm thinking like, all right, I dodged a bullet. Everybody bet that. Now that's not going to happen. And I'm on to my tight end Arroyo minus 1100. Wow, I just don't see Seattle only scoring 19 points, but sometimes you got to factor in the big stage element where it's like, where's this offense that we talk about? It's the Super Bowl. Are they tight? And then lastly, this game is going to be on Peacock, so we get our dream team of Collinsworth and Tirico calling this game. I can't wait for that. A lot of interesting storylines, a lot of what ifs. If Drake May is our MVP, what are we talking about him next year? If Darnold's our MVP, what are we talking about next
Does
year?
Chris Collinsworth say the name
Hmm.
Patrick Mahomes during the Super?
Oh, that's a great bet. Oh, that was a very Mahomes play, Mike.
Right.
I think I know it's Drake May out there, but I see Patrick Mahomes, Mike.
Yeah. And I want to say he's gonna, if there's a bet the under because I think just to screw, well, it depends on just to screw people out of the money. I think he would do it on purpose.
Yeah, like the bet I think is will Collinsworth mention Patrick Mahomes 1.5? I think that's the
Okay.
line. I think you gotta go 1.5
So
because
he'll
you
do
know
it
he's
one
gonna do it
time
once,
and he
but
won't do it again.
he won't. Will he do it again? Will he not? I'm gonna make a little note. Mahomes mentions 1.5. I'm gonna keep an eye on that during the broadcast. 1.5 times. Okay, that's noted. All right, Super Bowl next week. Next week we'll have a champion, Omar. This was the Sunday Night Talk, the preview show for the Super Bowl. Next
Go
week,
Patriots. Go Patriots.
we will know. You picked the Patriots. I picked the Seahawks for the Sunday Night Talk. For Omar Carmona, for me, Patrick Mears. See everybody next week for our final show. Good night, everybody.